we're back here in GCT in Hobart. I've got Shannon Jacobson with me today. Shannon's a very advanced and experienced powerlifter. He's having a little bit of trouble at the moment keeping up and back tightness under the bar, and he's also unsure about whether should he use a heel in his squat or shouldn't he. So today we're going to try and figure out the solution to both those problems, see where we go. So first thing we're going to look at is we're going to get Shannon under here. Is that going to be all right for you, mate? Yeah. We'll get Shannon under the bar. Just set up for your squat and we can have a look at see what's happening with the back.
10 seconds to go.
Let's go for a couple of squats. What Shannon's having an issue with is getting tight out the rack, and then as he comes down, just go a couple more. As he comes down, you see the elbows like pitching forward under the bar. It's a little bit tricky. He's obviously a strong guy, and having no weight on the bar, it just feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, real weird.
Yeah. But this is kind of what we saw the other day. It wasn't putting some weight on that.
Yeah,
it was just getting this going on. Okay, so but we'll wrap that up and we'll have a little look. So. Key thing we found the other day is when we're setting up for the squat, basically we need thoracic extension, just to get that chest up, or else we end up pitched over, So getting as much thoracic extension as we can, so the bar's sitting in that sort of on the traps, read out, wherever it happens to fall for you. And then we want looking at external rotation of the shoulder, so we can get up, and then also internal rotation here, so we can get a good grip on the bar and pick those elbows through, The other thing we need is a good amount of extension in the shoulder, So this is going to be flexion at the shoulder, this is shoulder extension. So when there's like limited shoulder extension, and you want to keep coming down here, it just tells us probably going to be jacked up a little bit in the front, which is kind of normal for powerlifters. So we're going to basically just run some tests now, see what's tight, see what isn't, and go from there. Okay guys, so with Shannon we're going to get him on the bar again and have a look. We've got an improvement in internal rotation. So basically did a lot of work, a combination of body tempering and joint mobilizations. Mobilized the posterior joint capsule, did some soft tissue work through the tricep, through the teres minor and infraspinatus, just to improve internal rotation, and did quite a bit of body tempering as well. A la Chris Duffin and Johnny Thompson type work, just through the pecs and also through the tricep as well. So he's got improved internal rotation, but also he's finding it easier now to get into more sort of shoulder extension positions. So we put all that together. Let's go and see how it looks under the bar now. So just get yourself set up, Shannon. See this elbow is somewhat different now. This is the one we've been working on for here. We haven't touched this yet. We see the elbow pulled up slightly. That's crazy. So he's now in a better, his arm's in a better position now. So just pick that chest up, Shannon. Really crank those elbows back behind you, and then drop into a squat if you feel comfortable. Cool. So I don't know if you really see this on the camera. You can definitely see on this side he's able to really drive the elbow up and support the shelf the bar is set on here. You can actually see in the rear delt. So if you look at this in here, see how that rear delt's popping up there? So the bar's actually sitting on a nice shelf now, whereas over here it's not quite the same. You see that, camera person? So it's this kind of difference it's made. So this is what we've worked on. Nice shelf here. Still struggling to get that shelf on that side. Okay. Cool, so we're going to come back, do a bit more here, work on this side, and see where we end up. He's getting over and sliding in horizontally. He's sliding that bar down until he finds his natural stopping point, which is there. Now he's really going to drive the elbows up and together, and then pivot his chest under the bar. Keep it up, pivot on it, there we are. And come out from there, much better. And now he's completely locked in through here. He's up tall. He's going to stay tall through the left and up together. Good. And again, elbows back, tall. There we go. Good. One more. Knees out, drop. Good. Breathe in. I'm pretty happy for today with just to leave it here.
Yeah, big time.
So what we've done is we've we've actually looked at his body. So we've looked at restriction, and then fixed up some things there. So he's got good extension, good movement through the shoulder. And then we've actually gone and looked at the squat and gone, okay, we need to set you up and cue you differently, yeah? So it's always looking at, is there restriction? Is there a cueing issue? Is there a weakness somewhere? Okay, and it's always going to come down to one of those three things. And we found restriction and more cueing and setup with Shannon. So when I'm teaching to students, I'm always talking with a big list, always talking about the setup has to come first. If you have a poor setup, you're going to have poor technique. So we've got to get it set up right for the individual, using their leverages for them, as opposed to going, there's one way that everyone should use. It's like, no. Yeah, there are some parameters that we all need to fall within, but basically it's just looking at how do we use these leverages to work for it rather than against it. So yeah, so we'll leave it there for today.
Okay.
But I'm happy with that, and we'll keep going on our video calls.
Cool, man.
Cool.